Okay, so I'm actually in the middle of a long reading, guys. It's coming out way longer than I thought, and it also has an extended on it too, but it's really, really interesting. It has to do with, basically it has to do with loving oneself in whatever relationship or connection or whatever your love situation is. But anyway, so I wanted to take a little break from that. I kind of had to pull back my energy from that. I got a really good idea when I was in the middle of that reading in the extended to pull message cards for your person and for you, or your person and you, and see what kind of conversation would come out with that, and see what kind of advice could come out there, so you can understand one another. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to pull straight message cards. There's not going to be any tarot unless for some reason I feel called, but I am going to use some oracle cards to get some advice, okay? So for the piles, we're going to use stickers here. So for pile one, please, their conversation with them and their person. It may get a little loud. Your conversation may get a little loud. It says tune up and turn loud. This is I think this came out in a reading not that long ago, guys. It's so strange. There's tons of stickers. I'm gonna show y'all. There's tons of stickers in here. I mean, there's a bunch. Like, I keep pulling the same ones. It's frustrating. Pile two, their conversation with their person. Libra, so this is about balance, okay? So equality, balance, okay? So that's going to be interesting. I feel a little bit more peaceful with that one. What about pile three? That is very strange. So this is, I had a dream about this. This guy. This is the Mad Hatter in Alice in Wonderland, and he is very in his head a lot. But if y'all have seen the most recent story, there's a backstory it shows about him. It's very interesting. I think that might have something to do with this pile. So it's the Mad Hatter here, guys. It's number 3. Can't get that back, so we're just gonna put that over there. The Mad Hatter is the number 3 here. It says 10 and 6 also at the top of his hat. And then pile 2 will be Libra, and then pile 1, I know I'm going backwards, will be Rock, okay? So pile 1, 2, and 3. Timestamps are down below, and I'll see you at the top. Okay, pile 1, if you chose the Rock, tune up, tune loud. So I think that this is obviously overall, it's given me more of an aggressive kind of energy. So there's maybe some sort of aggression that the two of you are sitting in, some sort of conflict that you're kind of confronting that's taking place here. So let's get into it. So I have a huge pile. I'm going to show you all this. This is my huge pile of message cards, and there's some other like kind of cards in here. I'm going to choose 2 stacks from each. And then we'll choose one for connecting energies as well. So this is going to be for your side here, and then for your person's side, we'll use this side here, which is already says I hide who I really am. So this may be kind of interesting. And then connecting energies here, we'll use the last bit, okay? So that'll be connecting energy. So let's start with your side here. So I'm going to get all the cards out, kind of like I do the you and thems, and then we're just going to get into it. Let's do one more quick shuffle here. We want to know what pile 1 wants to say to their person. What would pile 1 say to their person? I want to be more than friends. I'm not over you. What would pile 1 say to their person? I'm grateful for the spiritual lesson. I know I made a mistake. Play hard. Find time to laugh, goof off, and enjoy each other. Pile 1 say to their person. Thank you for leaving me. Wow, I'm grateful for the spiritual lesson. couldn't let you get close to me. What would pile 1 say to their person if they... These are very jumpy, guys. I'm not taking those. Settle down. Y'all just settle down. What would pile 1 say to their person? I'm not financially stable. Oh, that makes sense. What would pile 1 say to their person? I miss seeing you. And I was just thinking about that. I feel you even though we're apart. Wow, those came out together. Okay. See how interesting this is? I think this is a good idea. Okay. So, bottom of your deck says, I'm starting to understand our connection. Makes sense. So let's see what your person has to say. What does your person have to say for pile 1? What does their person want to say to them? What do they want to tell them? I'm sorry. Right off the bat, how crazy. I hide behind material things. Interesting. That. One's person, what would they say? You don't know how hard it was to let you go. What would pile 1's person say? Finding out the truth crushed me. Oh my gosh, that one hurt. I couldn't tell you face to face. I want to feel that way again. What will this person say to them? I knew exactly what I was doing. I wish you'd come back. You're not part of my plan. Ooh, that one hurt too, guys. Bottom of their deck says, I lost myself for a little while. What did you do to this person? There's a lot of pain I'm feeling over here on their side. There's a lot of realizations about stuff. And it's painful. Okay. Connecting energies. Gosh, I hope I don't have to move all that over. That's going to be a pain. It's not even, well, I'm going to do it anyways because it's not even right. Sorry, guys. I know. Some people don't like looking at it all crooked. You know? I'm one of those people. Okay, so what would the connecting energies, what would they say to one another? What is something that they share? What would they say to one another in pile 1? Woo, popped right out. Look at this. You didn't see my tears. Yeah, there was some sort of conflict here, guys. You got that. You didn't see side eye to eye here on something here. That's usually, I mean, that is conflict, so there you go. See how smart I am? I fantasize about you. That's conflicting. This is conflicting. There's another energy here that's fighting against this. There's a negative energy here that's associated to the thought process behind this. This is desire. It's attached to a negative thought process. It's a perspective that needs to be shifted. Okay. What? I focus on you instead of my pain is here. Oh, good grief. I mean, you gotta see what it says. So I guess I'm going to put some up here and then put some down here. So let's start here with patience. Patience. Everything will unfold in divine timing. I don't trust you. I can't do this. I have trouble with intimacy. And I can still see you standing there. That's relevant for the both of you. So I want to start on connecting energies here. I focus on you instead of my pain. And I know more than you think is in reverse, because I think that, and I don't know how you feel. See how contradictory that is? And then I pretend that you don't mean that much. This is the overall energy that's here. I pretend that you don't mean that much to me. There's healing that the two of you aren't seeing in yourselves that's there. It's behind what's going on in this conflict. There's an energy here behind it of knowing that there's something there that you need to heal. You can see it, this person can see it. There's something there that needs to be healed in order to heal this connection itself, or bring this back together in a harmonious way. You both kind of pretend like you know how one another kind of feels, but you really don't know how one another kind of feels. And this is attached to a lot of anxieties that kind of come into play here. There's anxieties behind this it's fear that's causing this insecurity that's here. It's like you recognize how one another feel, and then you place that worthiness or judgment on yourself. It makes you nervous to think how the other person feels about you. And that nervousness turns into unworthiness at some point. The nervousness, you start to get anxious, see? That's your killer, isn't it, for a lot of us? Anxiety. It just destroys the joy of life, not being able to be in the present moment. And there's anxious energy behind that, a fear of the future, a fear of what's to happen, a fear of what's going to happen, a fear how it could happen. All this stuff leads to this when you start to kind of question how it is that you feel, because you're starting to question how this person feels, and then it pulls you away. So even though you really do know more or feel more in this connection, you start to question that down that road, and then it just really screws things up. Then you start to think, I don't know how to feel at this point. I don't know. I don't know how you feel. I don't know how to feel. I think that, God, I hope that made sense to all y'all. So then you just pretend like you don't care. You don't want to get hurt. There's so heavy boundaries that I'm seeing here. They're huge boundaries that are here. And a lot of them has to do with being patient with one another and accepting each other for who you are, and then trusting that it's resonating from trust. This is your negative energy here, okay? And this whole relationship, it's based off of not being able to trust. And it boils down to what I just said about, then you get to a point to where you can't even trust your own feelings. I don't even know how I feel anymore, because I'm just so caught up in my head about all the ands, whiffs, and buts, So I don't even know what I even feel anymore now at this point. I don't know what to feel. I don't know how they feel. And then you just cycle out. You're cycling out with that. It's causing this conflict here to take place in this connection. See, I can't do this, and I have trouble with intimacy. It's almost like there's a lack of authenticity in this whole unit. If one side of the gear is telling the other side of the gear, how you doing? I'm great. I'm working fine. Oh, good. But then the clock's not running. If they're not being authentic to one another and saying, listen here, you're going to have to turn a little bit to get me going. You know what I mean? Like, if they're not being authentic to each other about their gears and how they feel about how things are progressing, or and being honest with that, if they don't feel like they can do that because they don't trust the other person, it's causing conflict. It will always cause conflict. And I'm not saying that that's not going to happen. What I'm saying here is that you need to have patience with one another and allow things to unfold and understand them like naturally, and have that acceptance of each other, that you both feel anxieties and you both feel fears. And then just being okay with that in one another, or understanding that person, that you're the same in that, and what that causes you. And it stems from these boundaries. So I think really what this reading is mostly set on is how you can adjust your boundaries here in this connection, so that you can find yourself to be able to be at least authentic and true to who you are. And then you can step out of your comfort zone a little bit, and then you can learn how to put some of those walls down, so that this connection can be actually a connection and not a whatever this is. What is this? There's so many misunderstandings here that's insane, I feel like. But it's like one thing, it's just kind of ran away with itself. One thing's just kind of, one thought it's like a wildfire. I'm going to start with your energy here. I want to go into this bottom of the deck. So we're stopping here at your energy at being, I'm starting to understand our connection. And it's funny here because look, your person has the other card that's upside down. That's their stopping point is, I lost myself for a little while. You're handling things in a different way at this time. You're not in the same timeline as each other as far as understanding, processing things. I think this person's more set in their, it's like when you're in your head, they're in their heart. When they're in their heart, you're in your head. But when you come together, that you can't come together. You can't explain it to each other. Because one person's always in the other. You're never on the same thing. You're never focused in the heart. You're never vulnerable. When one person starts to be a little vulnerable, the other person feels defensive, and it's a trigger that you're sensing in one another, because there's healing there that needs to be done. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense, because that makes perfect sense. The way I'm saying it. So I hope that y'all are understanding it. It's like key to this connection. It's like the key to this connection. It's like the purpose for this connection. I'm starting to understand our connection. You're in this energy overall. You're in more of an exterior world when it comes to this understanding. You're thinking outside of the box. You're thinking in a different way about this connection, and how this connection is somewhat of a mentally can be a benefit to you in some sort of way. There's something there about you starting to have this more positive look on this connection itself, and how there's a benefit, or could be a benefit there for you. This person's going back and recognizing some things of themselves, and there's a little bit of an internal battle that's kind of going on with them, and how they feel like in their heart. This person is in their heart right now. You're more in a logical sense. I think you've felt on your heart space a little bit and kind of pulled yourself out of it. I don't think that you were there for too long. I think that kind of troubled you. And I think it may have something to do with, there's a regret that's here when it comes to this conflict. That's what sparked the emotion. And once that kind of triggered that emotion in you, I think that you kind of resorted back to your headspace almost immediately. Like, you want to kind of straighten that out before that kind of, you have to feel. It's like you don't want to have to feel. Something trust-wise is big here for you, because it's preventing you from wanting to feel those emotions. Something that hurt you tremendously in your past, that was could be like a huge betrayal, that you never fully healed from. It made you feel less valuable in some kind of way. Tell me more about that. I don't trust you. What's this I'm feeling? Not today. Not dealing, hurt, avoiding. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Boundaries right here, guys. You're still angry about something that happened there you feel betrayed with, and it causes a lot of emotions to come up that you don't want to face. Meeting, conversating, savoring the moment, feeling uplifted in friendship. It could have had something to do with a friend here. Could have had something to do with a friend. The golden mirror, self-absorbed narcissist, one-sided relationship, and love bombing. Somebody betrayed you here. It could have been a friend that betrayed you. It left like this really deep wound. You're still angry about that situation, and it's causing you to not trust just connections, because we're talking about a friendship here. So it's a ship, you know, it's a you're carrying more than yourself on the experience, you know, and it's something that you shared with someone else. So a friendship, a bond, a connection, someone in your life that you felt this relationship with, where you could trust this person, you open up to this person. Something kind of happened there that you're still angry about. You're still angry about what happened. Either that was with this person and what they did, some sort of someone being, you know, narcissist towards you, or self-absorbed in some kind of way towards you. And the reflection of that is this not being able to trust. No, we're not doing that. No way. I just saw sabotage and mask, though. Those are two that stood out to me for sure. Could go off in a wormhole with that. I'm not looking into that. I'm sorry, guys. This is already longer than I thought it was going to be. I'll just do this. This is what I'll do. I'm going to get one of these cards to see how to move on past this situation. How do they move on past this situation? How do they move on past this situation? For some of you, this was a love connection that you felt like the other person, it was a one-sided relationship, or they were just very self-absorbed in that relationship. Tell me about this, please. Okay, thank you. Communicate. So there's something here that you need to express to this person, or some kind of truth that resolving issues. Guys, there's something to do with you resolving the issues that are there between you and this person. And if you can't do that, what if they can't do that? Because some people, what if they can't do that? Strength. You have to persevere. You have to discover it within yourself without that person. If you can't communicate that to this person, if you can't resolve this issue, see, solving inner conflict with others, healing past trauma, this has to do with the situation here, guys, and communication through that. This is also saying, you know, if you can communicate that to this person about how you feel and why that's there, you could resolve the conflict that you're carrying with this person now. You have to be able to recognize what your shadows are and what they're doing to you, how they're affecting your everyday life, the choices that you make, that fear that's unhealed. If you can explain that to this person, then that's being authentic in this situation, and how this was handled or how it was come about, you know, this argument, and then resolve past those issues. But you have to persevere. You have to discover what it is that you want here, for sure. Yeah, and denials here as well. Failure to accept a situation. Unhealthy cycles or addictions, yeah. Not accepting something for what it was. There was an unhealthy cycle that there was something that was stuck there. Not being able to just accept that as something that's really holding you back as well. You need to work yourself into accepting the situation, so you don't do this in all your relationships here, and you're able to let your guard down when you feel like you can, because you know. So we're going to go into your side now, and I'm going to go through this pretty quickly because it's already almost 30 minutes, and I wanted to keep it down to 30 minutes. So we're going to see how that goes. This is really interesting here on your part here. It says, I am grateful for the spiritual lesson and thank you for leaving me, is something that's here. So if this person has left you and to some capacity, then it's that you recognize the lesson, that there was a lesson there for why this person left you, and something that you had to be taught or learn, or something that you needed to learn there, and that's what it taught you, is something to do with when this person left you. It made you kind of sit in your own thoughts, and it made you have different understanding about yourself, perhaps, or it's what you needed at the time, and you're realizing that. That was the lesson out of it for you. This is someone that's saying here with, I want to be more than friends and I'm not over you, is you can't be around this person and not want to be attached to this person in some sort of way. You're discovering that you can't be around this person emotionally without feeling some sort of attachment that's there. I think that's a heavy trigger for you, because it comes back to this trust. It's a heavy trigger for you because it comes back to this trust that's here. Because when you feel you can break, your heart can get broke like it has before. So when you're around this person, you have a hard time because you're not over. I don't think you're over this person. And so you may have went back to this person, and it didn't go in the way you intended it to. I know I made a mistake. This is like you saying that you felt like it was a mistake to go over this line of friendship. And then I couldn't let you get close to me. It's after this happened, after you felt like you went over that line, and you can't kind of pull yourself back, and you realize that you made a mistake. You question that, by the way, because you don't feel like it was a mistake. You feel like it was needed. But when you feel the emotions start to come up, that's the mistake. And that's something that I think that is still there, and you're trying to cope with that. I couldn't let you get close to me. As soon as that attachment kicks in with someone, I feel like this is with anyone in your life, but as soon as that attachment kind of kicks in, you start to push away. You start to push yourself away because of the attachment triggers the feeling, and the feeling is what hurts. It's the last thing that you felt. Sticking your finger in that socket, how bad does it hurt? You don't want to do that again. Maybe if you should stick your finger in there and you just feel a little it's not that bad, but if you do it and you have like this huge reaction where you get really hurt, you definitely aren't going to do that again. You're not even going to get close to it. You're going to be like, nope, I know what I'm talking about. I accidentally set my grandparents' house kitchen on fire one time, cooking fried okra, a hot pan of grease, and now I will not step away from the pan. I mean, not even to go to the bathroom, nothing. If I start something frying, I'm standing right there watching it. And that's the impact it's had on me. This is what I'm feeling here with you when it comes to love, or when it comes to getting attached to someone. I'm not getting close to that. And that's what happened here, I think. And this is what you would tell this person. I mean, now you're not over this. And I'm sorry if y'all can hear my stomach. It's hungry. Not me, it's just my tummy. And let's drink some more coffee, maybe that'll help. This play hard here, and I'm not financially stable, as Pretty says. I mean, you can tell what it says here, basically, is this is someone that's kind of wanting to kind of find time to goof off and enjoy each other. This is someone that is not financially stable or doesn't feel stable enough to be able to do something like that is something else that you would tell this person. And this could just be maybe not financially, but just stable enough inside of this relationship or inside of yourself to be able to spend time with this person or do anything really here for some of you. Like you're not in a place to where you can kind of get yourself out like that. I feel you even though we're apart and I miss seeing you. I mean, there's an attachment here to this person that you have. I think that you're just trying to convince yourself that you don't, so that you can kind of not be attached. But that's like impossible. Unless you're just completely separated from this person, you don't. I think maybe that's something you tried to do though. You may have tried that, and it didn't work. Because I feel you even though we're apart. Yeah. Okay, let's get into your person's energy, okay? So their overall energy is, I lost myself for a little while. I think this person's realizing like this period that they went on where they're having this reflective state. They're looking back at where they were at some point in this relationship where they felt isolated. They're thinking about that. They're kind of reanalyzing that, what they've learned, what they've experienced. And they're trying to focus on themselves in a certain kind of way of what they've experienced. You start with, I'm sorry. I think this person feels like maybe they've kind of acted out of their ego here. And I hide behind material things. This person with I hide behind material things, this is someone that sees value with something outside of themselves. So maybe this person has been valued in that way. That's something that's coming through a lot across in my readings lately is there's always some kind of big lesson, in the collective. But this is about you having this value within yourself in a way of not putting those material things as part of your value, but recognizing the value that you have within. This is a lesson this person's kind of going through or trying to experience, and they may have acted out of their ego when it comes to that, when it comes to you. That's something that they feel sorry for. And you don't know how hard it was to let you go. This is, I lost myself for a little while. There's something to do with this connection. Hold on, they want me to look at this card. Nope, there's nothing there. We are more alike than I admit. They don't want to admit that for sure because it was hiding even upside down. That's so funny. We're more alike than I admit. There's things about the ego that this person may see in you where they're like, oh my gosh, they're just so in their ego. But they do the same things, and they don't want to admit to that that's something that they do, but they do recognize it. It's a side message. Okay. You don't know how hard it was to let you go. This person went through, I think, some sort of kind of depressive state. I think that they went through some sort of kind of longing, sadness, healing. This is something this person kind of had to experience in order to kind of gain what they needed from this connection. Finding out the truth crushed me here. I couldn't tell you face to face. I want to feel that way again. This finding out the truth crushed me. There's some kind of realization that this person's kind of sitting on here. About this connection. It's kind of a tower moment, I feel like, for this person. Some kind of realization of, I think it's just the connection itself. But it's sitting right next to this, I fantasize about you. And if y'all do my y'all know the you and them readings that I do, I always use these as connecting energies for thoughts, feelings, and actions. And I'm kind of feeling that way here with this connecting energy here. I'm fantasizing about you and finding out the truth crushed me. And this black and white that's over here with you, it's either one way or another with you. Thank you for leaving me. I feel you even though we're apart. There's a energy here of there's not a clear vision or a clear view. It's either one way or another for you. Huh. Finding out the truth crushed me. There could be a truth about this connection and the fantasy behind this connection. What the other person sees as the connection itself. What have they been projecting of the storyline behind this connection, what that looks like. This is what this is about here. And something to do with the way that you're seeing things and they're seeing things may not be fully connected. It's causing this Tower kind of energy here, or it could have at some point, and that's why they lost their self. And then you have, I couldn't tell you face to face, and this is a more ego card. Okay, they think that they had some kind of realization about this, about how they kind of hide behind material things, that kind of scenario we talked about, that they felt, but they wanted to apologize, but they couldn't tell you face to face. So there's a lack of being vulnerable enough to be able to express their authentic self of what happened and how they see themselves, because it's not the best light to put yourself in, right? It's hard to address. It's hard to admit to what your flaws are. It's hard to admit to your mistakes. And I think that was hard for this person, and that's something they regret maybe. I want to tell you, I want to feel that way again. I mean, this person wants to be able to feel, I feel like this attachment that they had here with you. Before this, you don't know how hard it was to let you go, because that feeling that they felt with you, I think it's just precious to this person. That feeling is something that it's just addicting, that feeling of that blissfulness. It's that initial part of a connection, or that initial start of that relationship where everything just feels like it's just perfect and fitting together. It's that honeymoon stage. This is something this person constantly felt, and it was really significant for them that it was very hard to kind of release that and let that feeling go. And it's something that they want to feel again, guys. It's here. It's something that they miss. So down here, they have, I know exactly what I was doing, and I wish that you would come back, and you're not part of my plan. I mean, I think that they knew what they were kind of doing if they've kind of pulled themselves back in, or I think this person was trying to get back this feeling. This person was trying to gain control of this connection, or get back this feeling here that they felt. I wish you would come back. Yeah, they want that back. But this is the ego card. And it's coming from the ego. It's coming from that way, because they do feel a sense of, it's kind of a little bit of a codependent energy, because it's hard. It's still hard for this person. And if they could get that feeling back, it's like they could release themselves of the pain that they feel without it, just for a little bit. I hope that makes sense. It being more in an ego sense. But it's not just ego, though. It's a feeling. It's just There's some heavy energies here. There's some heavy hurt energies here. And I think they just want to release from themselves from that for a little bit. This may not just be in this connection, but it may be just in this person's life. They may see that blissful feeling, maybe something that they don't have a lot of those kind of feelings, or it may be something that they just hold so precious because it's not something that they've experienced a lot of. They may be trying to counteract those thoughts that they have like that with you, compared to some more of the negative things that have happened to them in their life. And it's a feeling that they want to come back to because it kind of releases them from that more negativity that they feel, in their lives in general. It's a thought, it's a joy, it's a piece of joy that you can go back to mentally, something this person feels. And you're not part of my plan. I don't think that it's funny too, but I think that you kind of were. I think this person sees you as being part of a higher purpose of interacting with them, meeting them, being in this place. But you're not part of their plan here. You're not part of what fits. It's this duality here. For you, it's this or that, one or the other. This, I can still see you standing there is the connecting energy here. There's something here that you both replay over and over in your head. And I guess it's this conflict that needs to be resolved. You both replay that kind of over and over in your head. I'm going to get some affirmations, and I'm going to get some of the eyes in. You keep replaying over and over your vulnerability and how you can't let this person get so close. Being stable and where you are currently and missing this person. And you bounce back between these energies. And it has a lot to do set on this. Maybe the last time that you've seen this person, you've talked to this person, or a memory that you have with this person. It's very significant here. And then your person here is having these thoughts about how you're not part of their plan and understanding why and the reason behind that. And then you have I wish that you would come back. They do think about wishing. I think this person wishes that you would reach out. And that's, again, it's kind of more of it coming from an egotistic kind of way of they feel like they shouldn't be the ones. There's a part of them that feels like they shouldn't be the ones to have to reach out. But it's coming from a protective energy, that guard there, right? They're defensive about something. And I knew exactly what you were doing, what I was doing. I think that there's regret behind this. I knew exactly what I was doing. It's like they put themselves into a situation that they knew it was going to crush them anyways. And they keep trying to remember that or tell themselves that. You knew this was going to hurt. You knew this was going to happen. And they keep replaying these things over and over. Okay. I don't know why I needed to go through that, but there. Future energies here for pile one in their person. Whoa. Okay, so I'm pretty sure this is soulmate. So there you go. This is a soulmate. I mean, this is why you can't. This is why this person's having such a hard time here. We have cutting. This has to do with breaking through this unhealthy cycle, unhealthy attachment. learning how to break through this unhealthy attachment that you feel, and new love. In order to be able to, and this is about yourself as well, but is in order to be able to have, share, look at that, obsessions. In order to be able to share, hold on. Healing. There's someone from your past here. You got to work that out. Sorry. It's reminding. This soul and cutting and new love. So this connection itself, the future of this connection, I do feel like that for the two of you, I want to say for those of you that have others, there's going to be a disconnect from other people. There's going to be a disconnect from people around you that don't align with your, it's not like forever or nothing. It's just like it's going to be some kind of disconnect with someone or other people that are around you that are like more of a soulmate kind of energy. That's not going to resonate for everybody, and I don't know exactly what I mean by that, to be honest with you, but you'll know it if that's your message. For the situation itself, though, between you and this person, the soulmate energy is something that's here, and that's why you cannot cut this off. That's why you can't forget about this person here. I feel you even though we're apart. That's why. There's a attachment that's here. But in order to feel the love that's here, or accept the love, or even within yourself, you have to cut off all the anxieties and fears and everything else. And that's the whole point of this connection, is to find that ability to be able to trust again, ability to be able to have patience with the other person, the ability to be able to be vulnerable and let down those walls. Okay, so let's get some affirmations. My dog wants outside. She's just sitting here staring at me, guys. Okay, can I have some affirmations for Paul 1? Joy. We talked about joy, if you don't remember. And the ideal partner. Yep. Playfulness is here too, and there's a reason playfulness is underneath the ideal partner, because sometimes what we imagine as your ideal partner is not somebody that is right for you, but you don't know it until you know it. Even when it comes to any kind of conflicts or anything like that, like you're experiencing now, you wouldn't have this conversation with anyone else. You wouldn't go through this with anyone else. There's a reason you're experiencing it with this person at this moment in time, and it's for you to realign with your soul purpose and who you are and how you feel in your authenticity and all that stuff. That's the whole purpose here of this connection. So sometimes you can find joy in partnerships that aren't really your ideal partnership of what you have planned. But that's what happens, right? Finding the playfulness in the other person's flaws is part of it. And we can't plan for that. You just can't plan for that. So, joy here. To enjoy something, I simply need to add joy to it. Joy is like butter. I can put it on anything, and it will make its way better. It will make it way better. Today, I will add joy to everything. Really slather it on. Today, I am Auvenvale Rickenbackers. Can't say that. Of joy, and life's popcorn is about to get it. That's so funny, but I'm sorry I screwed that up, didn't I? So yeah, just having just joy here and not putting so many expectations on this idea of partnership here. I am a rare and precious find, and my brilliance will be reflected back to me when I am paired with a true match. My ideal partnership and working relationships are easy and free-flowing. I deserve greatness because I am greatness. And to paraphrase Rumney, when I'm looking for is also looking for me. In fact, he or she might be paraphrasing Rumney right now. So this is this kind of It's funny too what one of the messages that came from this card is, not about really this card in particular, but it's about the thought that we know what's best for ourselves. You know, but sometimes what we feel like is the best thing for us isn't. You know, Spirit's going to give us people in our lives, and we're going to meet soulmates in our lives, because those are the experiences that we need to learn from and grow from. It's what's needed for us to evolve in whatever soul we're in. And so that, having that concept, when it comes to ideal partnership, you have to have a level of acceptance or understanding that you just, whatever's ideal for you or whatever's for your highest good is what you're going to get. And it could be in different moments of your life. That's why we have different soulmates and meet different people, not just romance, but everybody. And that's the whole thing here, is you need to kind of wrap your head around that as well, is that this whole idea of getting exactly what you want, but sometimes we don't know exactly what we need, and knowing the difference. Postcard from Spirit, guys, and then we'll close with initials, okay? Let's see what Spirit has to say about this. It was longer than I wanted it to be, but I guess that's okay. 2 cards came out. That's because one's for you and one's for your person. Dearest you, you are beauty. It's about value. The common saying, be in the world but not of it, and wear the world loosely, refer to the need to engage with life while not being attached to a specific outcome. Do not take this world too personally, for you are one of many co-creators here to play, and we have many ideas about how all things should play out. Just know the outcome doesn't matter as much as the presence that you bring to each experience and how you let yourself flow through it. There's a real freedom in knowing and accepting this. So will you wear your world loosely, or will you let it straitjacket you? It's your choice. Whatever happens, have the courage to keep trying to live as you are meant to. And when it comes to manifesting, don't worry about that. The how or even the why. We have that covered. Everything is going to work out or turn out exactly as it should. Spirit has a plan. Loving you always and forever. And this is so awesome, guys. And I feel like this is your card here about this ideal partnership and what we just got done talking about. This is like just on a higher level here of understanding of that. We also have with love, which could be your person's energy. And for some of you, you may have been on this side. It's just, you just kind of have to take how it resonates for your situation. Sometimes you just feel like no one understands you, like you're not being heard, or even that you don't count. This, my dear, is a terrible illusion. And although your feelings tell you that abandonment is real, well, we who love you know better. You're never alone, and even when rejection happens, you're ultimately being protected, so better things can be replaced with what wouldn't have worked out in the first place. Everyone on this side of the veil is watching over you and rooting for your ultimate success. Life loves you, we love you, and you are a unique spark of the universe and always connected to light and to the source. You are always in our care. Trust and keep the faith. Loving you always and forever. When you have a conflict with this person, it's devastating to this person on a profound level and it really, really pushes on a wound of abandonment. And abandonment, how real abandonment is, how real it is that you can lose someone that you care about, and that attachment that's there, you're not giving much to it. This person's consumed by it, and they're having to kind of go through this learning process of detaching themselves from that extravagant way of looking at loss. And it's a wound. They could have lost a lot, in their life, just in some way, shape, or form, or something heavy in their life that they lost. But it's a quick takeaway, and it's how they associate everything with losing someone, and that feeling is associated with that quick takeaway, and they don't want to feel that, just like you don't want to feel the way you felt about the distrust. You see? And so they're trying to balance that out. It's one extreme to another here for you and this person. And having patience with each other is a big part of this. here. Okay, let's do initials. And key cards, apparently. Wasn't going to do key cards, but I feel like something needs to be here. Have a good time. So there's reverting yourself back to allowing yourself to feel joy is a big part of this. And being still and allowing things to happen and keeping trust and faith into the here and now. Dissolve into here, and that's how you kind of keep yourself out of this anxious energy that we talked about in the very beginning of your spread. Face the situation. Yeah, you have to face the situation here, I think, is something really important as well. Whatever it is that you're still holding on to, this anger, this conflict that you're still holding on to, and being scared to kind of face that is something that's here, especially if it has to do with communication to someone else. You need to face that situation. This is what your concern is here in this moment in time. It's in this here and now. It's affecting everything in your circumstances so far up to this point. Think about that. Think about how this one thing has affected relationships and why it needs to be in your forefront, why it needs to be on your focus right here, so that you can have joy and not you can share relationships and the fun of relationships and the joyful part of a relationship, and not get so, not allowing yourself, stop complaining. It says it right here. Stop complaining about that. Be with nature. Yeah, definitely. Revert back to the primal instincts of nature. There's a level of acceptance that goes into that as well for some reason, of how you've kind of reacted in a situation, and appreciating and accepting how you reacted in a situation from a primal place. So it's like that protecting yourself, going easy on yourself. Go easy on yourself. Okay. So we have T-O-2, Tom, T-O-M-M-K, A. I already see, hold that thought. Nope, yep, I already see make. Make is right here. To make. E-U-X, U-turn. I don't know why I'm seeing that right there. No matter what decisions that you make here, you can always turn yourself around when it comes to that decision that you've made. If you've made or put judgment call on something, you can always, it's not permanent in your life when it comes to connections. Once you see somebody a certain way, that's it. No, you can always go back and explore how that person is, why they are, how they are, and all this other stuff that can bring an understanding where you can find balance and peace within yourself. That may be something that y'all need to do here, because that may be something that it's the only thing you can do. Maybe you're not in communication with this person anymore. We have VM, or maybe you just don't want to communicate with this person like that, anymore. We have HSA, C, B, T, R, M or W, which we have a lot of hashtags, so there's more here. L, D, I, O, Q, J, R, Junior, S, and A. So we have 5, which is the change that we've been talking about. We have in the conflict, and 4 is stabilizing it now and towards a new beginning here with this is the number 1. Okay. Which also all adds up to number 10. So there's an ending of a cycle and a beginning of a new cycle here with you and this person. Taking on this conflict here and stabilizing the situation. What else do we see in the bowl? To make a star. To make a star. To make a star, you have to be wise. Something that popped in my head. Yeah, you have to be, in order to figure out what it is that you want in your life and dream allow yourself to dream when it comes to a relationship. I don't know why that's coming up in that way, but there's something to do with being able to allow yourself to dream. If you're not trusting anything in that kind of way, then you're not allowing yourself to open yourself up to also dreams in your life, because you don't trust other situations, just like you don't trust a connection, and it could cause some self-sabotage there. So that's something they're saying you need to be aware of. You can make your dreams come true, but you have to get out of that anxious energy, just like in this connection. Okay, so I'm gonna hold this up. I'm gonna leave you here. Hope you enjoyed this reading. I know this is way longer than I wanted it to be, but that's okay. I'm still posting it. But I hope it made sense. I hope it helps. Y'all let me know how you like this. I kind of like these. So y'all let me know. And thanks for being here, guys. And I hope to see you soon. Bye. Hey, Pile 2. So if you chose Libra sticker, then this is going to be a reading. So, and this is my huge stack, I'm going to show y'all, of message cards, and also messages of love are mixed in here as well. See? So what we're going to do is I'm going to have this here. This side over here is going to be your energy. So we're going to pull from these cards for you. And then we're going to pull from your person on this side here. And we already have I understand you better now. So that's significant. And then these are going to be the connecting energies here. And that's how we're going to do this. This is going to be kind of like the you and them reading, but it's going to be more like a conversation here. Lots of stuff came out in pile 1. It was way more in depth than I thought it was going to be. Flamingos may be significant to someone here, or maybe it's just a bird that has really long legs. I don't know why I need to say that, but something I'm seeing. So Libra is, Libra is representing that balance. It's about in relationships, oddly enough, but I mean, Libra is justice, in tarot. It's about seeing justice, what's fair, what is balanced in this situation, what is the negative, the positive, how do those come together, what's the duality here. Kind of just an understanding of that in this connection, I feel like is the biggest part of that, and that's why this sticker is your sticker here for pile 2. Also communication's a big part of this as well. So either you're needing to communicate something clearly with this person and trying to find the balance in that, how to communicate that in this person as well. So this might have to do with understanding that needs to take place here when it comes to the logical part of this connection. Okay, so we'll take all that into consideration. We're going to start with your energy first. So I get all the cards out, guys. This takes me a minute. And then I'll go into some oracle cards for advice, okay? And future energies as well. So, Spirit, pile 2. How's pile 2 feeling? How's pile 2 feeling? Oh, good grief, I did it again. Super frustrating for me as the shuffler. One more. Why not? See if I can hopefully redeem myself. That was awful. Okay, pile 2. Pile 2. Pile 2. How's pile 2 feeling towards their person? What do they want to say? What would pile 2 say to their person here? What would pile 2 say to their person if they could say anything? So we have children. Children are important to this partnership. Past life connection. Your soul remembers this intense connection. I know more than you think. What would pile? I can't stop thinking about you. Pile 2 say to their person if they could say anything. I know you don't feel the same. The timing just wasn't right for us. I know I messed up everything. I focused on you instead of my pain. No. There's a whole bunch that came out. I'm not going to let that happen. I want to tell you so much. There's a lot of processing that's going on your side that you would like to be able to communicate to this person, but you don't feel like you can do that. We'll get to it. Bottom of the deck now, since I shuffled, is nothing. Let's see if we can get something out of it. Bottom of the deck energy. Is there any bottom of the deck energy here? Is there any bottom of the deck energy here? Yep. I took the easy way out. That's interesting. Okay, so your person's energy. Let's get into that. How to's person. How to's person. How to's person. What would Pile 2's person say to Pile 2 if they could say anything? Libra sticker. What would Pile 2's person say to Pile 2 if they could say anything? I have trouble with intimacy and release. Radical acceptance and surrender can help you let go. Can't come with me. This is interesting. What else would Pile 2's person say to them if they could say anything? Friendship. This friendship is leading to more. I couldn't let you get close to me. How's this person? What would they say to me? I miss being with you. I left when I saw you with someone. I fantasize about you. I know I made a mistake. They have two here, and I was feeling this, guys. One is abundance. You've done work, abundance flows to you, and the other is marriage. This relationship is moving towards a sacred union. So it doesn't have to be marriage. It could just be a union here that's on this person's mind. Like a union, and how abundant a union could be with you in a situation, in this situation, how abundant a union would be, what that would look like with the two of you. This is someone that you were married to. They are having this kind of realization of it at some point, how abundant the marriage itself was. I am feeling like for some of you, this is an ex. Because children and past life love. That was pretty initial in the beginning on your side. But it doesn't have to be. It could just be that children are affecting this in a past person with children that you may have, maybe reflecting in this connection in some extent. Also, your person may also feel that a marriage in this relationship is something that maybe they feel like they can't fully give you in some kind of way, or it wouldn't, how would it fit? Or not having that from you, that commitment from you, is something that worries this person. Okay, so connecting energies. What are the connecting energies as far as their thoughts? What are their connecting energies? We will be together again. Connecting energies here. connecting. I miss hearing your voice. Connecting energies. 2 cards. Chemistry, this is a love story oracle that's in this deck. And obstacles. Chemistry is obstacles. Unhealed wounds are blocking forward movement. Chemistry is obstacles here. Gotcha. And this is about your actions down here at the bottom, and this is about forward movement. So there is definitely some chemistry here, but there's a new idea that needs to happen when it comes to this connection. I'm waiting for an apology. That's your overall bottom of the deck energy. And I think it's kind of expressing the fact that you and this person are trying to still kind of understand each other, understand how the two of you kind of fit or feel about what has transpired in this connection. And balancing that out is this overall kind of energy here, okay? Balancing that out. And right now, I think you're both kind of focused on, I think you're both kind of self-focused here at this time. I think that you're more focused on where you are and how you kind of fit here in this relationship, and not so much the other person. It's something to do with you kind of reanalyzing how you feel or how you have felt in this relationship, and not so much how the other person's feeling at this time. I'm just going to keep talking here while I'm straightening these cards out, because you'll know if I don't do that, it's going to drive me insane. Just, I'm sure it would y'all too. Y'all have to look at it. But I want to start with your energy, actually. So your first energy here with children and past life love, one of the things that came to mind is that you could have children with this person. This could be a ex, or this could be just a factor in this relationship in general, that you do have kids. Maybe this is someone over here that doesn't want marriage, doesn't want kids, and you have been in that experience. And oh, this is really driving me nuts, guys. I'm trying to not focus over here on this while I'm looking over there, but it's hard not to because I'm looking right at these cards. Okay, finally we got it. Awesome. Don't want to cover up obstacles. This is really important about forward movement here. Okay, it's not perfect, but it's better than it was, right? Let's leave it. Leave it. Leave it, Holly. Okay, so children, past life love. This could also be this heavy influence. So either you or this person has kids. It's something that you're not sure quite about. The other thing that's here is that there's something that you feel like you know more of when it comes to this connection, and some past experiences as far as love goes. You're thinking about your life experiences, and you're thinking about having, even having children if you do, or how children are important to you if you don't have kids, and about your past life experiences when it comes to love. And you feel as if, kind of more of an ego sense, by the way, that you kind of know more, or you have more experiences, so you know more about love, and about, like, it's kind of I know more than you do about relationships. And maybe that awareness is coming into play about how, recognizing maybe this person just hasn't experienced some things that they need to experience, and knowing that maybe something that's here, acknowledging it, Here I go again with the cards. Sorry, at least I'm still talking though. Anyway, so your overall bottom of the deck, interesting card here. I took the easy way out. So this is an ego kind of card. And what first thing that I got when this card came out was how kind of more of an aggressive a way of looking at how this connection ended, or what happened in this connection. And this could have been the first time, or the second, or whenever. So at some point you have felt, and you feel like you could have kind of more so took an easier direction as far as blaming this person for something, or pointing the finger towards them, or doing what you felt like in this connection would be the easier route instead of the harder route, because sometimes the easier is not always the best. And I think that maybe that's something that you're sitting on now. You're kind of understanding now and some things that went on in this connection. So I can't stop thinking about you. I know you don't feel the same, and the timing just wasn't right for us. It's almost like you have this realization that if this was any other time, that maybe the circumstances were different. Maybe you and this person could come together in a different way. And you have this knowing that's there, but you just can't stop thinking about this person. You can't stop thinking about how things have kind of transpired. You just can't stop thinking about this connection. And it's this idea that this person doesn't feel the same way that you do is like baffling you, because you feel this intense connection with this person. So the fact that they couldn't feel that same way, it makes no sense to you, and you're trying to wrap your head around that. And when you're trying to wrap your head around it, you're constantly just going into the cycle of thinking about this person and how this, if the timing wasn't right. You know, it's that freaking saying that I hate. Right person, wrong time. Because if it's the right person, it's never the wrong time. I mean, that doesn't make any sense, right? It's just the way I see things. And it's because I look at time as being so valuable. You know, time is so valuable. You can always stay connected to somebody. It's a choice that you make. And I think that that's part of this like realization that you're having here, or you need to at least, that, you know, maybe the timing isn't right here, but not allowing yourself to dream that something will come back together is an idea around this as well, or how things can fit. There's an idea here that they're trying to express is about a bigger divine plan in the makings that you cannot see, and kind of leaving that up to faith and leaving that up to the higher sources and not just your expectations, okay? Sorry if that came across a little aggressive. I feel like it kind of did there at the end. I know I messed up everything. I focus on you instead of my pain, and I want to tell you so much. This is you saying, you recognizing all these mistakes that you've made here. You kind of can see things a little bit differently now from where you did when you were, you know, so connected to this person. And if you're still connected, it's like just being able to express it is something that you wish that you could do. I wish I could just express to you how the pain that I was holding on to was messing things up in this connection. All that pain that I was holding on to, that struggle that I felt, was really kind of screwing things up here for this connection. And it was placing obstacles in the way, and in the way of the chemistry that we have, or that we share together. You know, this is kind of where you would be sitting at. Your person here on the other side, so their bottom of the deck energy is abundance here. You've done work, abundance flows to you now. So this idea about where this person is in their life, and wanting to feel abundant, wanting to feel, be open to things, and be freer, and be able to explore things, is something that they see that you can't do as much as what they can do. Or maybe you don't understand how their abundance in their life will help them to be able to, or if they have abundance in their life, just the way that they see things and value things is different from the way that you are seeing and valuing things. This is important to this person. This right here is important to this person. Having that abundance of joy, abundance of the way that they see it, whether that's outside or inside, you know, being able to feel abundant and valued is something that's very important for this person. And that could just be in time, like their time is very valuable here, you know. And maybe you are someone that kind of focused on a struggle or the pain of something and kind of mess things up, or you're recognizing that now. This person is someone that's just, they don't want to deal with kind of that. They just want to, it's not that they don't want to deal with it. It's just that they see things in a way of, I value the good stuff. I don't want to focus on all the negative stuff. That's where you're different here. Yeah. I have trouble with intimacy. This person definitely is someone that requires themselves to take a back seat to their experiences. So I mean, they take a back seat to how it's almost like they are the narrator in their own story, which they should be, but it's in a weird way I'm seeing it. It's almost like they're not intimately in a moment. They're not fully into a moment. If there is they can't fully release themselves to experience intimacy. Yeah. So it's like watching a movie about yourself, but not being in the movie itself. They watch it from a distance. They watch it in a 3D kind of way. They don't feel the experience. And they have a hard time releasing themselves of that. It has to do with you not being able to come with this person. So if you've kind of put that somehow on this person about them not being able to have, them having trouble with intimacy, is that because you want something that they can't give you, whichever the reason, you can't go with this person. You can't be a part of this person's, how you connect with this person is not the same. And they know that. They're trying to, it's like they wish that you would just accept that they have trouble with intimacy. You wish that they would just accept that they can't open up to you. This is what I'm saying. This is this energy here. Surrendering to that fact that they just cannot give you what it is that you're wanting here. This is what they would be saying to you. It took me a while to decipher that, didn't it? Friendship, I couldn't let you get close to me. I miss being with you. This friendship and I miss being with you is something that's very present in your person's energy. They do miss this bond or this friendship that you share. They do miss being around you and having that, but they don't call that as intimacy. They don't call that as, they can't let you get close to them in this way. They couldn't put down that barrier. Even though they do miss this, it's something that they can't put down because they don't feel like that this connection can come back together or come together in some kind of way. I left when I saw you with someone. I fantasize about you and I know I made a mistake. Guys, this person may have some kind of, whether it's true or not, acknowledgement that you've been with someone else, or that you were with someone else. And I think this person, one of their obstacles here is this: I fantasize about you. I think this person kind of fantasizes about you to a point to where they feel like they made some mistake that's here. There's a jealousy feeling that's coming through here with this, I think is what I'm feeling. I want to pull something for it, but I'm scared too because I don't know where it'll take me. Something's here. There's something here. This person could have left when they thought that you were with someone. And that was a mistake here, letting you go. Tell me about this. Tell me more about this. I know I made a mistake. Girl with a snake. Empath, narcissist. Guys, being charmed and used, enabled, and boundaries, and this is something that keeps coming up here. I know I made a mistake. I think this person maybe has placed a boundary, or maybe wishes they would have placed some sort of boundary in this connection and that might be, the meaning behind that might be a little different for everybody. Sunglasses, watching, looking, stalking, gaslighting, perception, and focused out. This person, guys, did some stalking on you in some way, or something, and I don't mean that in a creepy way. I just mean that they feel like they saw you, sunglasses, and saw here. Come on, they feel like they saw you with someone else, and that might not be a physical sense. Like they can't. Oh, I get it. This person is also can't see you as someone else. That's that jealousy that's coming through. They made a mistake here. I think they made a mistake here about you. Tell me about a fantasize about you. Look at that. Heart with a key. Welcome, love, meaning the one, opening your heart and getting together. This person, there's a lot going on here in this. I don't know why. There's so much in their actions, though. There's a lot going on in their actions. And you have this obstacles here. So, I mean, it makes sense. And chemistry is an obstacle for the two of you. But this person especially, this person still fantasizes about having this connection, being together here with you. It's very obvious with the middle connecting your energies as well. But they made a mistake here when it comes to charming you or using you, or there's some kind of energy here, and this could have been on your part, of a perception. I think it's a perception, because this is what you have here is perception. Some kind of perception that they've placed on you wasn't the right perception, and it could have to do with this fantasy and you being with someone else. There's some kind of perception that they've put on you as you kind of either using them in some sort of way. They made a mistake by doing that. And they're also, this fantasy is something that they've unlocked. It's kind of unlocking this idea behind feeling this, welcoming love, that's welcoming love. The key is fantasizing about you. What's happening here is this person's kind of you're unlocking their heart in some kind of way. But there's unhealed wounds here, and it's a blocking being able to really fully feel this chemistry here between the two of you. Okay. Let's get some of these. Eyes in. Connecting energies. As far as your connecting energies in your thoughts, we will be together again. Two of you are still wanting to connect with one another, regardless of what's kind of transpiring here between the two of you. You still want to connect with each other, regardless of these obstacles that are here. You want to find balance in this connection. I miss hearing your voice. Yeah, the two of you, I think that you are kind of struggling with how this person really feels and the timing of everything, and then you can't stop thinking about it, and it's thinking about this person, and all this is replaying in your head constantly because you don't know how this person feels, and you don't feel like this person feels the same way that you do. But I miss hearing your voice. You still miss this person, and that's kind of that's a struggle, internal kind of struggle that's going on there in your heart. Feeling like it's not right, the timing's not right, and this person's it doesn't feel the same, but you can't stop thinking about them. Why is that? Why is this connection intense like it is? And this person's holding themselves back here. They need to release themselves of being able to feel this intimacy, this chemistry that's here. I mean, they don't have to, but it's just this right here, friendship. I couldn't let you get close to me. I miss being with you. I miss hearing your voice. I miss being with you. This person does miss your energy. But they don't want you to get too close to them here, because they know that that is the key here to opening the door up to what's more in this connection. And they're not in the energy of wanting to do that at this time. They don't feel like they can do that at this time. That's an obstacle that's there. There's this person still is having these obstacles here. This is anxiety. They figured this part out, I feel like. I think this person let you go. I think this person knows also that if you're with someone else, that's something that they don't want to have to think about. Yeah, it's safe. It has to be safe for you to love. That's real important here. That's why they don't want to think about, they don't want to love somebody they can't be with, because then they have to think about that person being with someone else. Okay, what's that? Missing you. Guys, come on. Your absence is felt. They long for your embrace once again. Yeah, that would make them terribly miss you even more. Someone else getting what they want. Tell me, what is the future connecting? What is the future energies here? Future energies here. Future energies here. New love. Came out in pile 1. Future energies here. I think there's a new beginning here. Yeah, Wheel of Luck. There's an opportunity for a new direction in this relationship. If this is someone that's your ex, and you've released this person, guys, and that's going to be for some of you, you may have an opportunity in new love here. You have letter, and then these 3 came out. Love, key, and family. So, love, key, and family. Letter. The key to love is family. This is about a conflict is resolved and healing has begun. The answer is yes. You have the key to your. So if you've asked a question, the answer is yes. This is the Ace of Swords. This is an idea. And love is here. This is the, this is the 10 of Cups. This is an idea. And I think this is that's the Ace of Cups. So this must be the 2 of Cups. Yeah. There's going to be there's going to be an expression, a communication, a message of some sort. Whether this is someone new or this is this person here. And you'll know which one's which, because you're going to still want this person if this is this person. If not, then this may be someone new that's coming into your life. Or you can just know that this relationship's just over. But you'll know, is what they're saying. You will know. But there's an opportunity here to communicate, a new start here. And there's this idea that's here about this love and how to resolve things and still feel fulfilled here. The key to that is this family card, is this 10 of Cups, is this resolving things. Because when you have a conflict and you come back together from conflict, it socializes here. It will build things up. For those of you, this is someone new. You may be somewhere. When you meet this person, if this is someone new that's coming into your life, like an event or something around others. For others of you, this is what this is saying here, is that, it says interaction with others brings both balance and happiness, which is what you're both searching for here. And there's an opportunity for that here, but you have to communicate what it is that you want in order to heal. And like I said, with that conflict, you have to socialize in order to be able to figure out the balance of the connection that both of you want. You have to be able to interact with one another in a harmonious kind of way to figure out what it is that the two of you want. And I think you're both in this energy in order to do that, if that's what you want to do. Yeah, I want to, Say to yourself, yeah, I want to interact with this person so that we can get to a better place with one another, you know? In order to find balance in how you feel, you got to be able to, you know, be around this person. Be honest with how you feel. Now we're talking about all this talking, and now my throat's messing up. Even if it's hard. Even if it's hard. And if you're not going to be with this person and you know that, then this is someone new, guys. And being in a place to where you can open yourself up to that is something that's here. Okay. Pay attention, but you have to pay attention. Look for this, out for the signs from the divine. Acknowledge the red flags. Yeah, that's really important here. Especially when it comes to yourself. You know, we ourselves can be red flag. It's called self-awareness, and you have to be able to recognize it when you see it so that you can correct it. Advice for pile 2 moving forward. Advice for pile 2 moving forward, please. Oh, good grief. Here we go. Twin flame here, guys. Spiritual connection between you and your twin flame. This could be like that kind of connection that kind of brings out this awareness in you, and the real meaning behind what experiencing, you know, deep love is. Unconditional love. That's what I feel like. The soul connection like that is supposed to teach you, because once you can figure out unconditional love within yourself and get to that point, then you're allowing yourself to see what that means and what that is. Only you can understand that with inside you. Having that unconditional love, it starts with yourself and then expressing it out to others. That's in this connection here is something that is a rapid shift. It rapidly like just sheds you, your old self, and everything you thought about yourself, and kind of just put your insides on the outside of yourself so you can see everything for what it is, and then love yourself through that. Love yourself. That's that connection. That's why everybody says, everybody says, oh, I just want to find my twin flame. Like, I hate labels, you know? I don't like labels. Any labels. I just hate labels. But because it divides us. Label they do. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that. But twin flame, this connection is not an easy connection. If you're wanting that for yourself, you know, it's not an easy connection by all means at all. It's going to just tear you down so it can build you up. That's what it does. And pay attention to those flags if you're in that and you see those, because it's showing you where you need to heal from. It's showing you where you need to heal. It's to spread your wings, confidence that leads to freedom and growth. Yeah, it's the ability to guide you to freedom when it comes to being able to feel love and enjoy love to its fullest here. The 10 of Cups. Going through that growth and understanding each other and connections and what you learned from it, and embracing and accepting it. All this is leading you to a point to where you can feel abundance, not just have it. You can have everything you need. You can have that person that brings you your 10 of Cups. It's about feeling it, not just having it. It's so important. And you can't do that until you know what it is. Know what it feels like for yourself. Happiness. New discoveries that lead to celebrations. Love yourself first. I cannot make that up. That's awesome. Let's see what that says. Deception. Yeah, don't deceive yourself. Don't deny yourself of this. Don't deny yourself of being able to fully embrace and feel what love is. You know, success is at the bottom of the deck. In order for you to be really abundant, really successful in your whole life, and not take kind of the easy way out, not take that route of, I don't know, feeling bad for yourself, or putting yourself in a place to where you're just feeling angry about a situation because you were done wrong or whatever, but really kind of opening up yourself and and looking at the way that you handled the situation or handled things and how differently you could have handled things, and really evaluating it and learning from that experience is how you build yourself up. And that's what it's saying here. And that's how you kind of accept, if you can accept yourself, if you can accept all those things that you did and face them and acknowledge them, and you'll get to a point to where you love those things about yourself because they make you up to who you are. You'll be able to express that to others and really open yourself up and see others for their flaws, you know, and how awesome they are with them. You know, it's like, I am so hesitant to say this. It's like my sister, God love her. She's just a mom to everybody. She just is. I mean, I love it and hate it about her at the same time. It's just one of those things that it just is. They just, you know, people just are who they are, and it's coming from a loving place. But sometimes it can come out aggressive or defensive or not so great, you know. But you have to be able to accept the person for who they are and what it is that they mean, truly. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to get a postcard from Spirit here. For pile 2, postcard for Spirit for pile 2, please. So I hope this resonated. I hope it made sense, guys. I kind of got lost there for a minute. La. I'm back now. You're not alone. Dearest you. There are times that you get lost but refuse to see parts in things. Happens to everyone. Guys, we just talked about this. I'm gonna say this one more time. There are times that you get lost but refuse to see your part in things. Happens to everyone. Something feels familiar but sort of off. If you're feeling confused, it's best to throw out the map that you've been using, which only lets you navigate based off of your past experiences. That isn't what you need right now. Instead, take a deep breath, open to the truth. A desire to stay in denial means that part of you doesn't want to be responsible for the pattern that's shown up in your life. Yes, this is the right time to wake up and start again. By the way, you'll always get another chance. You have unlimited chances to start again. We love you so much. We really do. Be gentle with yourself. Coming out of denial is like being temporarily blinded by super bright lights. Allow your eyes to adjust. Carry on. Special one. A beautiful life awaits. Loving you so much. That's tough love, guys, there from Spirit. Which may be how this reading came across. And if it did, I'm sorry. I didn't mean for it to. Just comes out how it does. Yeah, this is about you kind of really heavy there too. Is kind of something that we talked about. You know, it's best to throw away that map that you've been using that lets you navigate based off of your past experiences. There's new experiences that can be allowed if you release that past energy. You can't do all this growth with self and then not recognize the growth in the present. Always being focused on the future energies. You have to be in this acceptance and gratitude for where you are here and now. It's really important. It came in pile 1 too as well, that same message. And don't be in denial. It's a part of you that doesn't want to be responsible for this pattern that you kind of keep repeating over and over in your life, or that keeps showing up in your life, this pattern. Take responsibility of that, and now you have the key. Now you have the acknowledgement how to kind of fix it and get out of this illusion. Because all you're doing is you're keeping yourself from being able to fully be able to spread your wings in love and grow and have happiness and feel confidence in that. Okay? I don't know where that just took me, but there you go. Okay, so let's get some key cards and some initials to close. Okay, so we have connection. Yep, to feel connections. I am heard. Yes, you are. And intimacy. Wow. There's a pressure here as far as intimacy goes, and how you don't feel like other people connect with you on the level that you connect with others. And it has to do a lot with, I think you have this need to almost make an impression or imprint on other people, so that you feel worthiness from that impression that you put on others, which comes from seeing others' value is your value, and it's not. What others value in you is not your value. Your value is your value and yours alone. Other people have their own wounds and all that stuff that they're dealing with. You know, they could look at you and not value something that's very valuable, but it's the way that you see it. They might not see that yet. This person might not recognize your value quite yet. It doesn't mean they won't ever. It's just in this moment in time, it's something that's not valuable to them and their experience in this moment in time. It's not because it's not there, it's because they don't see it. Okay? Open yourself up to these connections. You are heard in connections. There is connections that you will be heard in, and you will have intimacy when it comes to being heard. Face the situation for what it is here and stop complaining. That's come out. I think that came out just like that in pile one. Yeah. This person clearly is saying that I can't be intimate with you here. I can't have the intimacy that you're wanting here. Maybe not forever, but not right now is what they're saying. You need to face that situation and stop complaining about what you're not getting from this. If this is something that you want to stay connected with. Someone can't give you an emotional balance if they don't feel that way within themselves. And this person's they don't feel comfortable with being emotionally intimate with you at this time. And you kind of just have to respect you just kind of have to respect that. I mean, and you have choices too. You're not just stuck this way. You can choose to stay and see where this goes. Because I think there's going to be a reconnection that's here. You're sitting at a crossroads here. You're going to get a choice. That you're going to either stay here and renew this and keep going and take this opportunity, or you're not, and something else might come along here for you. But it's a choice, you know. P and I. There's never a wrong choice. Just which direction do you want to go? So OEM. We have some letters here as well. We have D, U, do you. Yeah, do you, K. Do you, don't worry about this person so much. We have Z. We have some numbers, 8, 8. So maybe the two of you are moving forward in different directions to find your own stability here in partnerships or what it is that you want. And maybe this person's going to be a part of that, and maybe they won't be a part of that. It's telling you to stay in your own lane is kind of what it's saying. Where's a P that's hiding here? Stay in your own kind of lane of what it is that you want. We have TOR, torn, M. You may be torn about that, making that decision, because you don't want to be away from this person. You don't want to have regrets. It's a hard choice to make. But you really just have to ultimately go within and ask yourself, where do you feel the happiest? And just be in this moment and not be too far in the future, too far in the past. It's just to being in the present and seeing how you feel in that. Maybe they're kind of telling you as well, the storm. We need an S. The storm will pass, and yep, there it is. And what you feel now is not going to be what you always feel. Right? L-E-A, leak. You're going to feel some emotions from time to time if you choose to stay in this connection, or even with new people. You know, you're going to feel some emotions from time to time. And when they come up, look at those. Look at those emotions and see kind of how you feel about them in the moment. We have J, A, L, D, and L. Jake. I don't know why that's standing out, but it is. Jake may be important. If y'all meet somebody named Jake, will you come back and tell me about it? Because I'd like to know. That's pretty crazy. We have Zap. Zap. Yeah. Nip it in the butt. That's what it is. Whenever this first comes up, this red flag that you see after the storm kind of passes, communication is here, you know, kind of being in this place of communicating. When you get an opportunity to communicate to this person, I think that you should do that, because I do feel like regardless of where this person is, I think that you need to be able to at least express how you feel if you haven't done that yet, and then make your choice moving forward from there. This person's making choices and you're making choices based off of what you're telling each other, you know. So you have to be honest with that, like, well, you're telling me this, so this is how I feel about that kind of thing, instead of just assuming and then not doing it and then later regretting something. So there's just wanting you to just be honest here if you can. Okay, guys, I'm gonna leave you here. I hope this helps. I'm gonna hold this up so y'all can see, and I'm gonna leave you here. Thanks for being here, guys. Thanks for all your love. Y'all let me know how you like this way of reading, and please, thanks for all your love. Thanks for your support, all your kindness, and I hope to see you guys soon. Thanks. Bye. Hey, pile 3. So if you chose the Mad Hatter here, this is going to be a reading. So the Mad Hatter, so it says 10 and 6, 10/6 at the top of his hat, which I think is like supposed to be like, I think it on his deal, doesn't it say like it's percentage? Anyway, isn't that right? Isn't it like a, well, I'm not going to keep going. Something to do with a percentage here. But 10 is the number of ending a cycle, completing something, coming to a close. 6 is about healing from that. And it's also the Lovers in Tarot. 10 is about, you know, the Wheel of Fortune, opportunities. So you have tea here that you're pouring on yourself. And it's kind of like this. Green is representing the heart chakra, you know, and how you're you have something that's kind of giving to your heart right now, something that you feel like you're giving yourself this time to kind of heal, or something that feels warm on your heart. And so this connection could be something that is helping you heal at this time. A connection that you have with someone could be something that's helping you heal at this time. Okay. Okay, so this is my big, huge stack of cards, and this is what we're gonna do. And holy moly, kind of got that all out of whack. Guys, I know I say funny things like holy moly. I mean, who really talks like that? I do. I have 3 kids, and I'm trying to not cuss around my kids. It can be hard at times, but I do the best that I can. And I have to say, I have to use different words and put different words in place of cuss words. So anyway, I don't know why I feel like I need to tell y'all that, but I do. So this is my stack here of cards. These are all message cards, plus these are the Hidden Truth Oracles, Shadow and Light, and the regular edition, 2nd edition. And also messages of love are in here as well. And sometimes there's other little things that end up in here that come out. This is just what I've accumulated, and I've just kind of stacked them together by accident, and then it just kind of went all together. So here we go. So what we're going to do is this is kind of like you and them. I'm going to take a stack here for your energy. So this will be your side here, and then we'll take a stack here for your person's energy. This will be this side here. And the connecting energies themselves will go down the middle. Thoughts, feelings, and actions, plus connecting thoughts, feelings, and actions. I get all the cards out, and then we go through them, okay? Look at that. I am recovering. You see that? That's what I feel like with your energy. You're going through some kind of healing. This connection could be something that's helping you kind of heal right now. So let's see. What would you say to this person if you could say anything? And I keep seeing healing too. Oh, it's crazy. What would you say to this person if you could say anything? It's pile 3. What would pile 3 say to this person? You may have been someone, I have to say this real quick about the Mad Hatter. You may have felt like you're someone that just went through a whole big experience of loss or something to this extent, or maybe something you've been through. And this connection for you is something that could be very healing for you. But you also may have been trapped in your own head a lot because of that loss. Healing, it came out again. Isn't that awesome? Old wounds and childhood issues need revisiting. Okay, so what would what would pile 3 say to their person if they could say anything? What would pile 3 say to their person if they could say anything? So the first cards we have here are, I want to feel that way again. I do wish you well. So many things remind me of you. What would pile 3 say? I feel the sexual tension. What would pile 3 say? Unavailable. This person is unable to give you all that you deserve. What would pile 3 say to their person if they could say anything? Play hard. Find time to laugh, goof off, and enjoy each other. I know I was a distraction from your pain. I am waiting patiently. I wish that you would come back. For some of you, you're connecting with 2 people here. For some of you are with someone, and some of you are thinking about someone from your past, and that's conflicting. What's this? Acceptance in your body language says so much. Having a hard time accepting something with that. If that's your case, and I want to start over. If this is your case in this situation, you're having a hard time accepting that this person that you're currently with is not the person that is from your past that you wanted. You're having a hard time, you're comparing in some kind of way. And it's causing kind of a imbalance here in this connection. It's making you feel kind of, you don't like the way that is making you feel. You don't want to compare. You don't want to compare. You want to have the experience that you're experiencing. And you're struggling. I think you're struggling with that. This person may be having to kind of deal with that to an extent. In a way of they may be feeling like they're kind of paying for what your past person's pain has caused you. Interesting. So let's see what your person would say to you. What would pile 3's person say? Whoa. Okay, I already saw this once. Vulnerability. Come out again. Sometimes I stay awake thinking about you. That's a this person thinks about how you can't be completely vulnerable with them or something of this nature. I can't stop thinking about you. Wow. Sometimes I stay awake thinking about you, and then I can't stop thinking about you. This person they feel this, they can't stop thinking about this vulnerability. It's something that's really strong in their mind. I think there's a level of an acceptance around that, though. Of this is just something that has to be here. This is something that they have to deal with. This is you. These past wounds. What about Pile of Threes person? What would they say? I don't know how to let you go. Yeah, this person is someone that wants to work on this. They don't want to let you go just because you're carrying some sort of wound from the past here. Whoa. I left when I saw you as someone. You may have had, this person may have picked up on you kind of, something may have come up about this past person that this person, new person here picked up on, and it made them feel not so great. Could have been the conflict that's here. But they don't want to let you go either. They're trying to accept your vulnerabilities in a way, you know? You speak to me through music. Even if you can't say what you need to say to this person, they still feel it. I mean, they still get messages that remind them of you in music, of understanding you. Finances. Financial challenges are affecting this connection. So there could be some kind of financial challenge that they're facing. I know more than you think. I miss seeing you. I want to tell you so much is their bottom of the deck energy. Connecting energies. And then we'll go into what I'm seeing. And then we'll get some future energies. Connecting. Okay, second chance is here. This relationship deserves a second chance. I can't reach out. Somebody needs to be vulnerable here. I'm getting a storyline, and this won't resonate for everybody, but it's the one I keep picking up on here with this. There may be a past person that you and this new person kind of had an argument or something to that nature about. On your part here, something that was caused, and it may have caused some sort of conflict or separation. But the two of you are wanting to give this thing another go or stay in this connection. I think in your heart, you just have a hard time expressing how you made each other feel about it. How you feel about it. It's time for me to heal now. Yeah, healing, guys. You both feel like there's things that you need to heal. Always. I mean, there always is. But I mean, in this connection. So let's start over here with your bottom of the deck energy. We're going to start on your energy first. I want to start over. There's something to do with you feeling like you just want to start anew with this person. You feel like maybe there's some things that you know are your wounds that have been kind of screwing things up, and can we just start over? Can we just start back to square one? We're not too far gone here. Can we just go back to the way that it was before? And so this person may have been watching you. I know you're watching me, and I have too much to lose here. I think this person may have been. Your person here may have been watching you, and I think that they may have caught you kind of or they have come up with this scenario of you either being with an ex or being with someone else or seeing someone else, or that you could be, or that there's someone else around, or there's something there. It's a jealousy kind of thing. It could result as a wound that this person's carrying when it comes to conflict in being able to trust someone. I mean, it could be something this person's holding on to, but there's something here that they felt like that they've experienced in your energy in this connection that is putting off this like radiating feeling of you not being healed or still being involved or connected to someone else. And it's bringing out their vulnerabilities. You also have a lot of vulnerabilities that they're recognizing within you. I want to feel that way again. This is you to your person here, okay? But these could be vice versa, so take them how they resonate. I want to feel that way again. I do wish you well, and so many things remind me of you. I think that there's some things that this new person reminds you of the old person. And I think that's really hard for you to kind of get past or see past. But I mean, isn't that kind of like just the case if we, not with everything, but there's certain similarities that we like in, it's just what our type is, you know, that pull us in, that draw us towards people. It's just something that we admire in others is going to pull us in that direction. And it's something that we hope to achieve ourselves or feel ourselves, or, you know, admire that they can be a way that we can, or something to this nature. It pulls us in. It's that attraction. This is kind of what's happening here, is that there may be some things that this person's doing, saying, acting, that remind you a lot, they're very similar to your past person. And instead of just admiring that and being able to experience that with this person, it's causing you to think about someone else, or think about that was with someone else, or how that was with someone else. And then you kind of put yourself in a not such a great kind of energy. And this person here kind of senses that from you. And they think about that a lot, how vulnerable you are to that. But they may not be telling you that. They may not be telling you that. This person wants to be vulnerable with you, though. And you want to be able to feel that way again, to where you can be vulnerable and open to a connection fully prior to, you know, getting hurt, I feel like, in your past. And this second chance is here, I feel like, because you're still wanting another chance to kind of work this out with this person and not carry this baggage along with you. But you want them to be able to understand that that's something that's there. You don't want to lose this person, but you want to have them kind of understand that it's not easy for them either. What you're feeling, the way that you're feeling about them and everything, is really hard for you to be able to explain. This, I feel the sexual tension. You could feel the sexual tension here with this person. This unavailable and play hard. Maybe hard for you to be intimate with this person to some extent. It may be hard for you to be able to be completely intimate with this person. But this person is unable to give you all that you deserve. There's something to do with, and this could be with this past person, you could have felt something, you know, even in a sexual way with this past person that was something that you haven't experienced before, and it's hard for you to experience that with this person in this new connection, or you're just not there yet, you know? Being able to really kind of enjoy this connection for what it is something that's really hard for you. Just to drop down and be in your heart space is something that's hard for you. It's still uncomfortable to have someone else in there in a way, you know, but you don't know how to explain that to this person without making it seem like they don't matter or you don't care about them, because you do. And then, I know I was a distraction from your pain. I'm waiting patiently, and I wish you would come back. I feel like some kind of conflict here that took place, that you're wanting to, I want to start over, a second chance. You know, I wish you'd come back. You knowing that there's still things that you and this person both need to be healing from. There's still things that you need to heal from in your past, and accepting that in one another is because you don't want to sever this relationship. There just needs to be a conversation about how to heal it now that you have this understanding with one another without hurting each other's feelings. You know, I know I was a distraction from your pain. You may have felt like this person in some way was using you as some sort of distraction. Or you may have felt like that with someone in the past, but I think that you're just waiting for this person to kind of come back and tell you how they feel, or if they want to reconnect, if they want to start over. For some of you, you're kind of waiting for this past person. You feel like this past person will come back around. And still feeling that way is something that you're needing to heal. Still kind of wishing for that is something that you need to heal. Once you have an experience with someone in a connection and you feel a certain way, you can't just create that same exact thing with someone else. It's of course going to be different because that person is different. We're all different. And adjusting to that is something that's needed here as far as your healing goes. But this giving, it's like you kind of know this and you're kind of wanting this person just to allow you some time to figure this out, to get past these wounds so you're not hurting this person, is here. So your person here, vulnerability, we kind of already talked about this a little bit, but their bottom of the deck is they want to be able to express all this to you. They want to be able to talk to you about all this, but they don't want to put any more kind of, there's almost a little bit of anxiety around it, or a fear around involving themselves completely into this, and then you still never being able to be fully vulnerable with them, and them being too vulnerable with you, and then it not going well. Investing. Seven of Pentacles energy. But they stay awake thinking about this a lot, day and night. They think about if they can be vulnerable here with you or not, if that's safe to be vulnerable with you or not. That's why I feel like there's something to do with this person. Somebody did them wrong or something in the past that they're still kind of holding onto. But they still want the second chance here with you. They know that this relationship deserves that, at least. So in their heart space, you speak to me through music. I left when I saw you as someone, and I don't know how to let you go. This right here is this internal battle. But they don't want to reach out because there's still a little bit of, I think that if they've caught you here talking to or spying on or something with someone else went on, there's still a little bit of hurt that goes into that, of them not feeling good enough, or feeling like you're never going to see them in the same way, or something to this nature. But this, you speak to me through music, this kind of keeps drawing them back in. It's almost like Spirit sending them kind of signs or messages or something, where they keep thinking about you, and it's pulling them back in, trying to understand. So they're not reaching out to you. They may not be at this time because they're still trying to understand how it is exactly that you do feel. And they're trying to understand where you're coming from, So finances are here in their actions. Maybe this is someone that's just trying to work on their finances right now, and they're trying not to think about this so much, or there's things that need their attention there, and they're trying to focus on that. There's maybe some kind of challenges here between you and this person, as far as maybe not just finances, but more of a stable kind of energy goes. This is finances or pentacles. So time, how much time you spend together, how you can kind of see yourselves being able to make the connection stable itself, like what that would look like. This is something this person thinks about. This I know more than you think. There's something to do with finances here that it's possible this person could know something about finances here, have seen something about finances here pertaining to you that they feel like they may be kind of a red flag, or that they feel like they could be connected to this past person. They're seeing this as kind of a red flag in some kind of way. They're thinking about this. They're kind of analyzing this. Maybe you've said something to this person about you having financial challenges and how that could just be the reason why you can't spend time with this person or something to this nature right now. That's kind of a red flag here. It's like they're looking at this in every angle, if this is something that you've said. And I miss seeing you. So I think you've kind of pulled back your energy a little bit from this person, and they're kind of just thinking about that and analyzing that. Okay, pile 3. Let's see what the future energies are here. These were fun. I like doing these readings. I've never thought about doing this before until I started doing that super long love reading I'm working on. And the extended has just popped in my head, which everything does, right? Future energies for pile 3 in this person. Future energies. Safe. Yeah, look at that. Perfect. It has to be safe for you to love. The both of you are trying to figure that out. What's safe in this connection for you? Ex-partner, guys, I really can't make this up. I really can't make this up. In ring, this could have been someone that you were committed to in a marriage, or just a commitment, some kind of commitment here, and that's causing you to not feel safe in connections, or it's making you kind of put, barriers up or walls up, or it's not just you, it's about you not wanting to hurt this person either. Future energies here. Love and transformation. Yeah. So you both know that you both have feelings. You both feel for each other. That's why you feel like this connection deserves a second chance here. And for some of you, this could be an ex. For some of you, this could be someone that you were already in a partnership with. That's not going to resonate for everybody, but that is some of you guys that you've already, when there is a disconnect here, I am feeling a little bit, but not a lot. It's just kind of a emotional kind of thing. You're both going to recognize that the understanding here of this ex-partner, if that's somebody that's here, and kind of how that's putting some sort of strain on this union that you feel with this person, and how you both need to feel safe to love and be loved. And you still have these feelings for each other, and those are kind of worth exploring. And that's how things are going to kind of transform moving forward. This is good energy here, but you have to be able to socialize. Look at that, friends and missing you, and express. You may get some sort of expression for you or this person of how you miss being around this person misses seeing you, and they want to still be your friend and socialize with you. At least, until things can transform, until you feel more vulnerable, or you can open up to them, or you want a relationship. Okay, so let's get some advice. We're going to get some Divine Goddess oracles first, and then we'll get some affirmations or a postcard from Spirit. They're drawing me to something else too. Let me grab that first. We'll do that next. Let's do this first. Advice for pile 3, please. All boundaries. Communicate. You have to be able to communicate, receive and express the truth of how you feel here, about how you feel safe. It has to be safe for you to love, and for you to love someone else. You don't want to hurt anyone either. Resolving these issues is going to help bring strength to this relationship. This is part of what's going to help transform things. Solving inner conflict with others, healing past the trauma, and determination, perseverance, and self-discovery. You and this person both want to persevere. I think that you both, again, feel like this is worth a second chance here, and you want to start over. You want to tell each other everything. This person definitely wants to communicate. Anything else? Advice? Yeah. Spread your wings. That came out in pile 2. Confidence that leads to freedom and growth. This is going to help you have more freedom in being able to be expressive and open yourself up and loving someone. Because if you're vulnerable enough to share your vulnerabilities with the other person, and they're vulnerable enough to share theirs, and you both meet in the middle and say, I'm scared, and they say, I'm scared. I don't want to hurt you. Well, I don't want to hurt you either, and I don't want to get hurt. Well, I don't want to get hurt either. And you're opening up to how intense that is for you in those vulnerabilities. What's happening is it's actually bringing the two of you together. It's strengthening the connection itself to where you can have more freedom to be vulnerable. It's pretty self-explanatory, you know, when you really think of it in that order. You can't feel vulnerability and feel safe unless you are vulnerable in the first place. Yeah. Okay, so let's get some of these. These are the Energy and Light Oracles. Energy and Light Oracles. What message do you have for pile 3? Moving forward. What message do you have for pile? Woo! Okay. Ancestors. Interesting. 28. Number 10. 2 is about the decisions, partnerships. 8 is about making progress in partnerships. Historical connections and purposes. This past person that's here had a purpose of teaching you something. It could have something to do with your ancestral line, maybe a breakage in an ancestral line, something. This person was in your life for a reason. That connection is now over for whatever reason it is. If this is your situation, you could just have felt this could have been a really long connection with historical connections, but it's definitely a connection that was like unlike any other. And the reason behind that is because there was purposes to that needed to be fulfilled. But now you need to make progress. Now you need to move forward. Now you need to move towards new partnerships and feeling new experiences and taking this, whatever you've learned here and this knowledge that you've gained from that past connection onto the next connection. Okay? Can you give me one more for that? Missing something. Ancestors. I'm missing something, guys. Creation. Okay. Soul expansion and something new. That's no coincidence. Number 37. This is where you are now able to experience something new for yourself moving forward. Your soul is expanded from whatever this was. You need to look at this as now I can create something different because now I have this knowledge that I've gained from this past experience, and I can create something new for myself. I can expand and showing love and opening up and being vulnerable in situations now because of this past experience. If you can shift your perspective and see it in that way, it's going to help you a lot moving forward in this new connection. Okay, so pile 3, postcard from Spirit. Pile 3, postcard from Spirit. Please give me good advice for pile 3 moving forward. Postcard from Spirit. I'll take it. You're not alone. No, you're not. Okay, dearest you. This is the same card, guys, that came out one of the other piles. I think it might have been pile 2. Nope, I think it might have been pile 1. Dearest you, there are times that you get lost but refuse to see the part in things. Happens to everyone. Something feels familiar but sort of off. If you're feeling confused, it's best to throw away the map that you're using, which only lets you navigate based on your map. Oh my goodness, guys, I keep bouncing back around because I keep thinking about stuff and I can't get the thoughts out of my head, so I have to say it. This part here about it happens to everyone and something feels familiar but sort of off is kind of the same feeling I was picking up on in the beginning of your reading about how you kind of felt familiar with this person, but it still felt kind of off, and you're focused more on the off feeling than the feeling of familiarity. Maybe there's things about this person that feel like home for you that are completely different from this past person that you're not seeing because you're too focused on picking up on that from this past person. So you need to shift your perspective of how you're seeing that. Why does this person feel like home? And what are their qualities that they're bringing that aren't anything like this past person? Don't look at what's similar, look at what's different. You need to focus on that. I think that's going to help get you out of this perspective change, okay? Or change your perspective here. I'm going to start over here and read this again. There are times that you get lost but refuse to see the part in things. Happens to everyone. Something feels familiar but sort of off. If you're feeling confused, it's best to throw away that map that you're using, which only lets you navigate based off of your past experiences. That isn't what you need right now. Instead, take a deep breath and open to the truth. A desire to stay in denial means that the part of you doesn't want to be responsible for the pattern that's showing up in your life. Yes, this is the right time to wake up and start again. By the way, you'll always get another chance. You have unlimited chances to start again. We love you so much. We really do. Be gentle with yourself. Coming out of denial is like being temporarily blinded by super bright lights. Allow your eyes to adjust. Carry on, special one. A beautiful life awaits. Loving you so, so much. There's heavy influence here, guys, that you need to kind of stop navigating your now in the present moment and in the future in these past life experiences, and to allow yourself to realize that you weren't the same person then. You're a different person now. You've had this soul expansion here, and you've grown past those experiences, and to be what they were is unfortunate, but you have to be able to also like leave that in the past so that you can fully experience what's in the present. It's about allowing yourself to feel joy. It's about allowing yourself to feel like this present moment is this gift that you have. I mean, if you're constantly thinking about this past and how that's influencing the present, and focused on that map of don't do this, or go open this door, or let them in here, or whatever, because you're solely focused on that past experience, you're never going to be able to allow yourself to be open to love. It will never be safe. It will never, ever feel safe enough. You have to look at it and say, you know, I really want to have this experience. And this person I feel like is in your life right now to help you transform your feelings and help you to heal. But you have to allow them in a way, you know, into the truth of what has happened. It is what it was, and that's what it's going to be, and then you move forward. It's about letting yourself feel, and you can't ask for good things and then not accept them when they get there because you're too scared of being vulnerable to it. It's like an oxymoron, right? Kinda? Sorta? Right? Like an oxymoron? Something like that? Okay. Dissolve into here. Yeah, that's what we just said. Look at that. Witness, don't identify. Yeah, witness the past. Don't keep identifying with it. You're different now. You're a different person. You've changed. You've grown. You've evolved. All those experiences, know what they've taught you, and kind of move forward with it. You've got to let it go. You've got to move away. You got to move away from it. How crazy. Friend, in order to be vulnerable, in order to open yourself up to new things, and empower yourself with that. Yeah, how strong you are. Take physical action here, and travel. Yeah, look at that. Move away, take physical action, and travel. This could be you moving towards something, or taking action to kind of travel with someone, or taking action to travel somewhere if you've been thinking about that. Maybe you need to travel towards this person and kind of come together and have this communication take place. Initials here. The only thing that you have control over, by the way, is in this present moment here and now. You can't control how this is all going to go. You can imagine and hope and think and dream, but you can't control it. The only thing that you can control is being right here in this present moment. It's the only thing you can actually physically, logically control right now is in this present moment right now. What can you do? What action can you take in this present moment right now with what you have right now in this present moment? Not your past. There's a special message here, guys. There's a special message here about moving away from some kind of friend that may not be necessarily really great for you to be around at this time. They may keep you kind of where you can continuously identify with your past, and that might be something that you need to kind of detach yourself from just at this time right now, not always, but to help you cope, to help you to understand how you feel about this past person. This could be someone that constantly brings this person up, or just constantly reminds you of this person in a negative way. And this is something that you need to kind of detach yourself from in order to empower yourself and find peace with it. Not that you always have to be away from this person. It just, sometimes we just need to get away from people that bring us down, or that don't know what to say, that could say the wrong things. A ladybug's just landed on my window. And my ADHD just kicked in. Ladybugs, it's luck. Luck is on your side. Wow. You need someone that's going to be in your life that's going to remind you of that. And it's not going to bring up the past right now. Right now, to help empower yourself. Okay. K-I-Y-T-O. We also have P-X-C-Z-D. Some of you may struggle because you feel like your past is kind of fixated, like you don't know all the pieces, or you still kind of think about that. And that's okay that that's there, but you don't need to just be stuck there. A lot of times the new people in our lives can help us to understand the past person that we didn't see before, where we can accept that situation and have gratitude for whatever and kind of keep moving forward so that we can forgive and forget, forgive and at least move on. Number 3 is about working with this person, working together, coming together, having that friendship there, growing something new. We have this creation here. It's about growing something new, expanding. Number 5 is about change. So there's something you need to change the way that you're seeing how you've grown within yourself. It's really important here. Then number 8 is coming up again about making progress and moving forward. We have B-Y, by, N-E, and yeah, and that. We have A-N-I-U and I. We have union in the bowl. In order for you to come into union with someone new, you have to let go of this past. Otherwise, it's just going to continue to linger there, always. Top. You need to get on top of it. Yeah, because these people don't come into our lives. I mean, this person is not going to just stick around forever and deal with this, in this kind of way. There has to be some sort of communication and understanding that takes place. I see Indian in the bowl. I don't know how that's relevant. And bye. That's weird. I wonder what that's about. What's the purpose for that? We did just have Thanksgiving. Maybe that's just a special message for someone. We have pot here too. Okay, guys, I guess I'm gonna leave you here. Yep. Yep, I'm gonna leave you here. I'm still trying to think about this. Indian. We're in ancestral things coming back up here. Let me pull a card. I want to see. I have these sitting right next to me too. These are the angels and ancestors. Can you tell me, what does that mean? What are you trying to tell me about that? What am I missing? Something. Stag, trust and thrive. This is about you stepping into your masculine energy. We also have the magic guardian, unlock the magic within. Yeah, this is about you stepping into your full masculine energy here and having pride in yourself and who you are and where you come from, like that ancestral line there. Animal guardian, trust your instincts here. And earth guardian, stay rooted and grounded. Yeah. Carry on moving forward, trusting in your instincts and who you are and how far you've come and where you are. Stay rooted and grounded within that knowing of your own instincts. You may have put a lot of heavy regret on you for not seeing things maybe in the past, and you need to let that go. You need to get your power back here. You need to get the stag energy back. Trusting, and that's where you're going to thrive. Okay? And unlock that magic within. You know you have these instincts. That's the whole point. Maybe you weren't listening to your instincts at that time, but the point is that you know you have those and ground those. Okay, that's a special message there for somebody, but I'm gonna leave you here. Hope you enjoyed this reading, guys. I hope that you you're gonna have to let me know how you like this kind of style of reading, how it kind of fits for your situation, or if it resonated, if it made sense. Y'all just let me know. Thanks for being here, guys. Thanks for all your love, all your support, all your kindness, always. And that's all I have. So I'm gonna hold this up so I can take a better look at them. And that's it, guys. Hope to see you guys soon. Thanks.